Today we're going to be discussing the top 4 credit cards to have in 2025. And I know we're wrapping up the year, this is the last quarter, but I'm pretty sure this is going to roll into 2026. And in due time, we'll revisit this and readjust if need be. If you're using credit cards for traveling, for personal use, for building credit, for businesses, we're going to discuss all of that here now. But before we get started, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you can learn more about finances. Let's dive right in. All right, so before we get started with the list, let's discuss what makes a good credit card. And that could be different for me than to you, right? So I know there's rewards and categories. Do credit cards pay you for using gas or for buying gas? Do credit cards pay you for buying groceries? These are things to consider because these are things that we do on a weekly basis, sometimes even more than that. And if, even if it's a small portion, small, nickel and dimes, I'm pretty sure towards the end of the month, these things will add up and it'll benefit you. The other thing is annual fees. They're credit cards that they charge you hundreds of dollars at the end of the year to have their credit cards. Now, this is something you have to put on your personal balance and see, is it worth it? Are the perks worth the annual fee? Do you use it as often? Do you travel a lot and get those flying perks? Or like I said, the groceries and the gas. These are all things that you have to consider when you get in that. Also, the flexibility. Are you able to transfer points? Are you able to get cash back? These all make for a good credit card. Again, this will vary from me to you. Everybody is different. So these are things that we're going to take into consideration when we say these are one of the best categories. All right, so let's get into credit card number 1. All right, so credit card number 1 on the list is the Wells Fargo Active Card Cash. And the first thing here is that you get 2% back on every purchase that you make. It doesn't matter what you purchase, you get 2% back on that. And this is great, right? It's something that you don't have to think about. It doesn't have to be gas or groceries. Everything you purchase, you get 2% back. So that is awesome. Also, there is no annual fee on this card. You don't have to pay $150, $200, $300 to use their credit card. So at the end of the year, there is no bill, which is amazing. You can use it, pay off the card. Hopefully you pay it off every month, so you don't have to get hit with those interest. But there is no fee to use their card at the end of the year. And this is great for people that just want to use a credit card without micromanaging every little single thing and dissecting the card and what they purchase and whatnot. This is just a simple, easy card to use. Again, everything you purchase, everything you use it for, you get 2% back on what you buy, which is amazing. Not a lot to worry about or concern. I mean, if you know credit cards, you know how they work. So pretty simple. One of the things to watch out for this card is that you don't get major perks with it. I mean, it doesn't have the premium like lounge access at airports, big travel credits. You don't get that with this card. But again, this is a credit card for somebody that just wants to have a card in their wallet just to use sparingly and not dive into all the perks and premiums that a credit card may come with. All right, so credit card number 2 is the Chase Sapphire Preferred Card. This is an excellent credit card for somebody that's out and about, is always traveling and dining out. There's plenty of perks on this credit card for you, okay? You have the ability to transfer points from airlines to hotel loyalty programs if you're in those, which is amazing. Travel and dining categories, amazing rewards on that. Also gives you protection for trip cancellations, car rentals, travel delays, all those things. You are protected with this credit card, which is amazing. One of the downside is there is an annual fee on this one, but I mean, that's okay. I think this is one of those credit cards that does balance out pretty well. I mean, if you're getting all of these perks, I do believe just on a couple of trips, it'll be worth to pay the annual fee on this credit card. Again, if you travel a lot, this is like, you feel like you're winning all the time with this credit card. So the Chase Sapphire Preferred, if you travel a lot, are out and about, dining out, this is the credit card for you to have. Again, this is no professional advice on finances, but if you do use any credit cards, I always advise that you try and pay off the complete bill at the end of the month. So if you do that and you use this credit card, you're winning. You're winning right off the bat. So this is a must-have for you. All right, so we're moving on to credit card number 3, and I'm gonna say this right off the bat. If you do not travel, if you do not dine out, if you're not always out and about, this credit card is not for you. And this credit card is the American Express Platinum. This is a massive suite of travel perks, airport lounges, hotel elite suites, fine hotel and resort benefits. This is one of the top of the line credit cards to have. But guys, this comes with a deep fee, okay? The fee used to be $695 annually, and they bumped it up to $895. So it is not worth it if you are not living, let's say, a luxury lifestyle of staying in these fancy hotels, taking these fancy trips. It will not be worth it to have the credit card if you do not spend that much. So it says here, in 2025, Amex has overhauled the Platinum card with perks totaling over $3,500 in value, which is why the bump in the annual fee from $695 to $895. So yes, again, if you do not travel a lot, if you're not a big spender, if you're not dining out a lot, this credit card is not for you. But if you are and you're watching this video, this is a must-have because the perks are just top of the line perks for this card. I'm not gonna dive too much into this credit card because I think this is one of those iffy ones to have that can get you in trouble. And not everyone is out there spending all this kind of money. So this is the American Express Platinum card for you, okay? All right, so the last card we're gonna talk about is kind of like a niche card, kind of like a fill in the gaps card. If you're not too happy with the rewards you're getting from a credit card, you can kind of use this one to fill in the gaps, and it is the US Bank Shield Visa card. According to Wallet Hub, this is one of their notable picks for 2025, particularly for people who want unique protection and bonus features. So again, this is just another card to have to kind of fill in the gaps there. Not an everyday use, but more of a supplementation card. If you want to, use an alternative, let's say you can use the consider the Citi Double Cash, 1% on purchases plus 1% when paid. So that bumps up to 2%, which is great. Or the Chase Freedom Flex rotating bonus credit cards. Both often make the best list. So an alternative again is the Citi Double Flex or the Chase Freedom Flex. And again, this is just a supplemental card. Nothing crazy about it, pretty simple. I would actually match this with card number 1, which is the Chase Sapphire. No, not the Chase Sapphire, not that one. The Wells Fargo Active card. I will supplement with this one for sure. The reward rate on this card are nothing to brag about. They're nothing big, nothing spectacular. But again, this is just something to supplement what you have in your wallet. All right, so let's compare these cards side by side. I have a few notes here that I'm going to read off. The Wells Fargo Active Cash, best for simplicity, everyday use, like I said, and I'm just gonna jump real quick and say I will pair this definitely with the US Bank Shield, the last one we had, just to supplement those two. I think that's a great combo to have. Key strength on the Wells Fargo is a flat 2% on everything. 2% on everything and zero annual fee, guys. I think this is a great credit card to have in your wallet. There's pretty much nothing hidden there. If you know how a credit card works, pretty much simple, no annual fee, 2% cash back. I mean, what's not to like? Yay on Wells Fargo for that one. And the only thing you must do is just use it consistently. Again, if you use any credit card, if you use it, try and pay it off at the end of the month so you don't get into any financial trouble. All right, so that's the key there. The next card is the Chase Sapphire that we spoke about. It's a travel flexibility, so if you travel out and about a lot, nothing too crazy. This is the card for you. Good base reward and travel partner, so you can bounce around points. Rewards are pretty good. It does have an annual fee, nothing too crazy. So this is a great one to have as well if that's your kind of lifestyle. And now we're gonna bump into the Amex Platinum that we spoke about, and this is more for if you live a luxurious lifestyle. You're a big spender, you're out there, booking the most fanciest hotels and the fanciest trips and the fanciest dining out. This is a credit card for you to have. It has amazing perks, but it does come with a hefty annual fee of $895. Great if you like the lounges at the airport, things of that nature. But again, if you do not live that kind of lifestyle, it probably will not be worth it for you. And the last but not least that I will use to supplement, and I again recommend to pair it with the Wells Fargo, is the US Bank Shields card. Kind of fill the gaps. You get lots of protection from it. Lots of protections from delays, airports, car rentals. Obviously, theft is one of them. So you get all those kind of protection fees, but the rewards are not anything again to brag about, nothing crazy. So a good supplement to go with the Wells Fargo. Those will be my two combo that I would pick. All right, let's do caveats and consideration. We all know that as time goes on, things change, businesses change, and these credit cards have programs with hotels and airlines. And as time goes on, they all adjust. And you know, some things I don't like or agree with, but just something to have in mind before you get into these credit cards. And one is the issuer changes and fees hikes. So again, just what I was saying, if a hotel changes their fees, things go up in prices, obviously the credit card has to adjust with that. So that's something to keep an eye on. And the Sapphire Reserve annual fee, it says here $7.95, but I think they bumped it up to $8.95. They obviously reserve a right to adjust that. So that's something you want to keep an eye out on. Make sure you check your mail, emails. Other credit cards require you to have good to excellent credit to be able to obtain one of these credit cards. So it's not like you can have a poor credit score and they'll give you one of these cards. Your credit card has to be up to par or up to their expectations for you to get one of these cards. Perk saturation and usage requirements. Some credits or status perks only kick in if you meet threshold or book via specific platform. So they do have some regulations that you have to oblige by in order to get certain perks. So there's a lot of rules and regulations when you're using these cards. So make sure you keep an eye on that. Read the fine print, people. These credit cards at the end of the day are a business. It is not free money, but they do have perks. And if you like using credit cards, I mean, why not? They're there, right? For you can use them responsibly, okay? All right, guys, so there you have it, my top 4 credit card picks for 2025, rolling into 2026. Quick recap here. For plain steady returns, Wells Fargo Active Cash. For travel and flexibility, we have the Chase Sapphire Preferred. For luxury perks, keyword luxury perks, we have the Amex Platinum. And then to fill in the gaps, a little niche credit card here, we have the US Bank Shield, okay? So as I said previously, make sure you read the fine print, know what you're getting into before you get into these credit cards. Credit score has to be pretty good. And nothing, enjoy your cards. If you're getting into them, use them responsibly. And before we close out the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. Let me know your comments down below which credit card you recommend that maybe I didn't mention in this video here. Anyways, I'll catch you on the next one, guys.